Get ready for the next battle.
벌써 끝이야? 더 덤벼봐.
아리사です.
You've got a date with death.
Round 2. Fight.
What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video. And in today's video, what else are we going to be talking about? Yeah, that's right, we have more updates for the next collaboration in the King of Fighters All-Star. Of course, the Tekken 7 Round 2 collaboration. There is now an official website. We also are going to talk about this little Facebook sharing event real quick, but we got a lot of information to go over, including 2 different trailers. One showing off a character, and the other being the first official teaser for the collaboration as a whole. So we got a lot to discuss in today's video, but before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe, and let's just go ahead and get into the news. So before we go ahead and get into the meat and the potatoes of today's video, which of course is going to be the official website launch, let's talk about this Facebook sharing event real quick. So, over on the official forums, I will have a link in the description so that way you guys can find this real easy. But basically, we do have a Facebook sharing event. So all we need to do is we need to share the video for the Tekken 7 Round 2 trailer. All we gotta do is share that on Facebook 3,000 times as a region, and we are going to be able to pick up 5 summon tickets for both the fighters and the cards. And this is going to be good for everybody. So basically, as a community, we just need to share this 3,000 times, and then everybody is able to get these rewards. So if you guys could do me a favor and go ahead and do this, because I consider social media the devil, and I don't have a Facebook, Twitter, or any of that. So yeah, you guys could go ahead and do that for me so I could get these tickets. That would be great. But anyway, jokes aside, guys, make sure that you go ahead and get this done, because it is important, because all these tickets will count, and they could end up netting you one of your favorite characters. So that is what we got as far as the Facebook sharing event. Not much to talk about there, but we do have a lot to discuss. So let's just go ahead and hop on over to the official website. As you guys can see from this beautiful, beautiful splash image, which the first thing that stuck out to me wasn't even the new characters. Orochi Iori as the face here, facing down Devil Jin, that's really cool. I like that a lot. But anyway, this splash page notwithstanding, as you guys can already tell, we have a first look at the roster for the Tekken 7 collaboration, and it's a mixed bag, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Right up front here, we have Devil Jin, who is going to be the absolute #1 priority, I'm sure, for everybody. And then we are going to have one of the 2 versions that we're going to be getting of Hwoarang, which is going to be a bit of a issue for some people. And then we have, of course, the wedding dress Nina, who we now know is going to be free, which we'll talk about, but she is there as well. And then we have Alyssa. So basically for me, I like Alyssa. This Hwoarang and Devil Jin, of course, is my favorite of all of them. But outside of that, this lineup, I had assumed that they weren't going to make new versions of characters from the round 1 that we had years ago. I had actually been talking in Discord yesterday with some people about that, how I didn't think they were just going to do another base Kazuya. They weren't just going to do another, you know, Paul or anything like that. Heihachi, any of these characters. I thought that maybe they might do Devil Kazuya, but yeah, very odd choices here for me. But we'll talk about it. Let's just go ahead and look at the trailer, because we're going to go through this entire website. But the roster will be something we'll discuss more in detail when we get through down to the bottom of this page, because they have a nice little roster part to this as well. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the trailer, see what there is to see here. So this trailer is really cool. I mean, this trailer is awesome. If you're a fan of Tekken 7 or the King of Fighters All-Star, or both, then you're going to find this trailer really, really cool. The problem is going to be the roster choices for most people, because we hate duplicate characters, right? As a community, we do not like the duplicate characters that they like to give us. It tends to be that way with any collaboration nowadays, and this one actually is going to be sporting 2 duplicate characters. As I mentioned, we have 2 Ninas and 2 Howrongs. So if you take a look at this, I mean, the lineup, these are cool characters, right? They're cool characters. It's just that, could we not have found room for a Kazuya? Like, if we could have gotten Devil Kazuya on here, I'm pretty sure that that alone would have made up for half of this. Like, people would have just been like, okay, well, we get the Devil Boys, so who cares? And then it's kind of weird having Devil Jin and no Devil Kazuya. That, to me, is just very, very odd. But, you know, that notwithstanding, overall, the characters look great. Overall, they look amazing. Art-wise, it's just a very odd choice of characters. Now, you guys know me, I wanted Yoshimitsu. I think the Yoshimitsu from Tekken 7 is one of the coolest damn things I have seen in a fighting game in a long time. Maybe I'm just a big Alien fan and it reminds me of a Xenomorph. I don't know, you can let me know in the comments, but at the same time, yeah, that's that. So, we also do not have anywhere in here, and I know a lot of people have been speculating on this, we don't have anywhere in here where they mention any of the old characters from the round 1 collaboration, so I don't think we're going to be seeing any sort of buffs or any reruns of any of those characters, which, if they wanted to fix the roster choices here, and they wanted to justify those choices, it'd be really nice if they could just go ahead and re-release those old ones, since most of the characters people want are in that original round 1 roster. But that being said, let's just go ahead and get back into it. I'm not going to be slowing this down because there's really not a whole lot to see. They did a good job of pretty much hiding most everything in here, so there's really not a lot to break down as far as any effects or anything like that. We're just gonna have to wait and see on this stuff. I mean, Nina overall looks fun. Then we got Devil Jin. Again, that is going to be the one that everybody wants. I know that that's the one that I want the most. He looks like he's going to have a nice long 3PG finisher. And overall, I mean, it's Devil Jin. How could you not want Devil Jin? But either way, as you guys can tell, we now have an official release date. We have 8/25 as the official release date. This is now confirmed. We talked about in yesterday's video how this was likely the release date for this. So now we have confirmation. So we were right on that yesterday. Pat on the back. Let's move on to the next part, right? So 8/25 is the official release date for all of this. Let's take a look at what else we got. So we are going to have a commemorative coupon coming along with this as well. This is going to be released on 8/25 to coincide with the official release date of the collaboration. For those wondering, we have no idea if there are going to be 2 separate banners or if they are going to be staggered releases. I get the feeling that they are going to have both 2 separate banners and staggered releases. Here's hoping that Devil Jin is on the first banner. Otherwise, a lot of people are not going to be summoning for an extra week. So that is going to be that. We have another asset here for Devil Jin looking just absolutely awesome. We have a little bit of history on what Tekken 7 is, as if most people don't know. And then we have the roster, right? So let's talk about this, because this is going to be where a lot of people get a little bit kind of meh. So anyway, so first up here we have Howrong, right? So Howrong is not a bad choice by just definition, right? The problem is there's 2 of them. There's this one and this one, which this one actually has a trailer, which we're going to check out. So I get the feeling, based on what I'm seeing here, obviously one's the classic version, one's more the more modern version, which I prefer the more modern version. It gives them a little bit more personality design-wise, but either way, the classic is still the classic. But Howrong is a love him or hate him character in the Tekken community. Mostly hate from what I've heard. Somebody can correct me in the comment section, but I've heard a lot of people don't like this character. At least that's what I've seen. So basically, when it comes to the character roster here, the first thing that's going to stick out is these 2, and of course the double Ninas, which we already knew yesterday. So there are going to be 2 slots that arguably could have went to other characters. Again, I would have way preferred to see Devil, Kazuya, and even like Heihachi in here, because if we would have had pretty much just the Mishimas, and we would have been fine. But you know, it is what it is, right? We're stuck with dupes like usual. So there's that. But then of course we have Devil Jin, the coolest character in the entire collaboration by far. Then we have this Nina. Now this Nina, Real quick, you guys, if you take a look at this event celebration part of this website, you're going to notice that you can get Collab Fighter EX Nina for free. So the wedding dress Nina is going to be free, right? And she is going to be an EX, and she looks gorgeous. I really, really like the design here. She looks great. I don't think a wedding dress is very practical, but you know, as far as fighting in it, but you know, it is what it is. So we have her coming in as a free character and an EX, which is really, really cool. And then we have this Nina here, which is your more classic version. So we are going to be having 2 Ninas, 2 Howrongs, and a partridge in a pear tree. So I guess you're the partridge in this. So next up here, we have Alyssa. Now, Alyssa here, I like Alyssa. Like, I do enjoy her overall design as a choice for this game. I think that she brings something a little bit different aesthetically to the rest of the lineup here. It's just that, again, I feel like you should choose very, very recognizable characters whenever you do these collaborations to try and suck in as many people as possible and to get as many people that might not be Tekken fans that have at least heard of Tekken as excited as possible, because you want to try and get people to spend and to use their resources. And when they see these characters, the first 2 characters they're going to gravitate towards, if they are kind of the layman's when it comes to Tekken, is going to be Devil Jin and Nina, right? Everybody else, they might sit here and go, oh, I know who Howrong is, but why are there 2? And then we got this girl here, like, who's this? That's going to be how kind of the casual audience is going to approach it, right? So I don't know necessarily that she was an amazing choice here, but I don't really know how popular she is in the Tekken community one way or the other. Somebody can let me know in the comment section, but I just think it's an odd choice. I think that this should have went to somebody that people were more excited about, but I can see why they did it, right? So when it comes to Alyssa, she of course rounds out the overall group of characters we're getting. We're getting 6 characters, 2 dupes, 1 we know at least for a fact is free in this wedding dress Nina, and we do not know much else besides that as far as how we can acquire these characters, as far as what their banners are going to be, whether there's going to be 2 banners and there's going to be 1 character playing spoiler across both, whatever the case may be, we do not know. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm getting the feeling that Devil Jin and honestly Alyssa are going to be the faces of their banners. I really, really do. I think these are probably going to be the big EX gets that'll probably be really good, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing as far as the roster is concerned. Now, of course, if you guys want, you can go down here and read a little bit about these characters, and there will be trailers eventually for everybody. But speaking of trailers, we do have Howrong's trailer, the classic version, so we're just gonna go ahead and pop this up here and take a look at it. So this trailer here, there's really not a whole lot you can tell from this one either. What I will say, and I'm not trying to step on any fans of this character's toes whatsoever, he looks basic as hell in this trailer. Like, I do not see much to get super hype about from this character in this trailer. I almost feel like this character might end up being like, maybe like an event banner character or something. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong. It's hard to tell when you look at these trailers. These trailers a lot of times are tough to really derive much from, but I almost get the feeling, if we take a look here, actually, just real quick, well, we'll play out real quick and I'll let you guys know what I'm kind of thinking on this. But yeah, I mean, looking at the finishers, they look fine, but I feel like this Howrong looks kind of just mid, as far as just overall design, right? So if we take a look here, I was going to show you guys this. So if we take a look right here, I'm so sick of these pop-ups on this website. Please take me back to YouTube. So when it comes to the battle card here, I just wanted to point out they're using the modern art for the card as far as which of the 2 versions of Howrong they're using here. So that being said, I get the feeling that if there is going to be a event banner character or another free unit, I almost think it's going to be him. I really, really do, because typically speaking, if we're getting featured art on a card like this and we're getting 2 versions of a character, the one featured is the one that they're prioritizing as far as making them better, if that makes sense. So I really do think that this is going to be the really good Howrong for you Howrong fans out there. If you're looking for a really strong version, we don't know kits yet, so I'm just speculating. But just judging from the art on the card, I really do get the feeling that this classic version is probably just going to be kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say a mid character, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So that's pretty much the trailer there. We can let it play again here, but I really don't think that there's much to talk about in here. Again, I'm not super sold on what I'm seeing overall in this trailer for him. Again, I kind of feel like he might end up just being kind of a there. So, but you never know. Kits are one of those things where you have to kind of wait and see. So it's one of those things. And actually, I just noticed something. I'm going to play it back. I could have just been talking and missed it. Okay, yeah. So the skill 1 icon, guys, if we take a look here, just real quick, I just want to point this out. Notice the skill 1 icon. Get out of the way. Notice the skill 1 icon. It changes. So he's going to have a derived skill, I get the feeling, is what they're really implying there. He does appear as though he might end up having like a stance change from the looks of it. If we take a look back here, he flips there. You guys see that? So there could be a stance change going on there, which would be interesting. Overall though, again, the big thing I'm noticing here is the icon change there. So take a look one last time. Yeah, so that's the stance change actually. Now I've just noticed it. Watch him flip. Yep, and then it changes the icon. Watch it again. Boom. So that skill 1 icon does change, and it does look like he changes stances. So that's interesting. That is something that's in that trailer there that's kind of cool. But overall, I still am kind of curious what's going to go on here. He could end up just being a PvP character, which is fine. PvP players out there love their PvP characters. Shout out to all you guys. But overall, I don't necessarily see a whole lot here that is making me go, oh man, I need this character. But once we see the kit, that might change. So that's pretty much what we got as far as the trailer for Howlrong. Pretty cool stuff, but at the same time, not anything I'm overly excited about. And again, we don't have trailers for any of these other characters. We'll just have to wait. Please give me a trailer for this man. All right, so with that being said, we're just gonna move on. So the collab celebration events. Now, we already talked about how this bridal dress Nina is free. So we know that. We're also going to have a look here at this Nina using the collab celebration check-in as kind of the portrait here for her. So, you know, overall with this, there's going to be, it looks like, some sort of event where we need to get these tokens and these items here. So we'll have to wait and see what all is involved there. Nina is featured there, so I'm kind of curious what that's all going to be about. Maybe both the Ninas will end up being free characters. We don't know, but that does seem pretty interesting overall with these little tokens here. So I'm kind of curious what's going on there. The collab special dungeon, experience dream match, and the collab exclusive dungeon featuring the collab fighters. So dream match, them shouting that out. Please don't give us any events where we're going to be forced to play dream match because people hate that. Don't force people to play PvP. Yes, I know it's not a ranked experience, but there are people out there that just don't like PvP. So don't do that. But beyond that, the collab exclusive dungeon, well, obviously there's going to be a collab exclusive dungeons featuring collab fighters, of course. I do like how they paired Howlrong next to Kim here, which does make a lot of sense. But then right here, I think this is the last big talking point, right? So we got Benimaru next to Paul for the collab special story, which I'm assuming is just going to be the Rush dungeon. But beyond the fact that they both have really tall hair, it's curious to me that they're using this Paul portrait because this is the Paul, the gold border Paul from the original Round 1 Tekken 7 collaboration. So there are going to be more people speculating based on this that they might return some of these, and I really wish they would. I think that that would really just send this collaboration over the edge and into the stratosphere, even if those old characters weren't EX caliber characters, right? People would be really happy to just be able to get their hands on them again. If you give them some buffs, everybody would probably be happy with that as long as you really try to pile it on, because at this point they're 4-year-old characters and they need a lot of stuff. But I just don't see that being the case. I think that they just chose this Paul portrait because it was convenient. They already had the asset and he has tall hair. So I really do think that that's the case. But beyond that, you know, cross your fingers and hope, but I really don't think we're going to get reruns, but you never know. So that's pretty much what we got, you guys. I mean, overall, outside of Devil Jin and some of the other things in here, I'm not super hype on the choice of characters here. I think that they could have maybe done a little bit better on choosing these characters, but at the same time, everybody's gonna have different favorites. And I'm not gonna try and rain on anybody's parade. I'm not gonna be that guy, because I know that there are people out there that, you know, Howlrong, Alyssa, these are your favorite characters in Tekken maybe. You know, some people out there, it might be some of their favorite game characters, period. I don't know. Everybody's different. I'm sure somebody out there thinks that Alyssa's the coolest character on the planet. But at the same time, as a casual Tekken fan, as somebody who doesn't necessarily, you know, play, you know, MLG caliber Tekken, I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I want the ones that I really, really like and enjoy from a nostalgia standpoint. But beyond that, I could take or leave most of these. So, you know, you guys can let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about it. I am super interested, like I said, in the more modern version of How Wrong. Devil Jin, of course, is the one I'm most interested in. And then I think Alyssa looks interesting. I think she could be really cool, just on the little bit I've seen of her. I think she could be a cool character. And of course, Nina's just a badass, so I mean, that's kind of fun, but I don't think we needed 2 of her and 2 of How Wrong. So anyway, you guys, that's just my opinions. Links will be in the description below to all of this stuff so you can check it out for yourselves. Let me know in the comments section if you're excited about all this. Like, share, and subscribe on your way out. And until the next one, you all take care. Peace.
Continue.